Okay, on today's video, we're going to talk about how to copy someone else's LinkedIn ads campaign for yourself. For your own dirty little benefits here. We could copy a campaign, or you could basically find one and build a whole new business out of it. So that's why I have labeled the title of this video, A Competitor or Not, How to Copy Someone Else's LinkedIn Ad Campaign and Results. Okay, so for the most part, what's that saying? Good artists create, great artists steal. Not to say that if you're good enough to create an ad campaign yourself that works, at the very least, go and look at the other ad campaigns that your competitors have in your same market. I guarantee you'll be further ahead if you do that than if you start out completely from scratch. That all said, if you don't have a lot of experience running like a LinkedIn ad or just display advertising online, you probably will fail a few times until you get it right, and you'll spend a whole lot of money. So that's another big reason why you want to do it, right? And of course, we all want to spend as little money as possible until it works. So if somebody else has something that works, assuming that you follow the strategy I'm going to give you to tell, if their ad campaign even works as well, a lot of people don't know how to do this, then we're cutting them out, just cutting down the time it takes to actually hit profitability with our ads. We're all here to make money. So anyway, I'm going to tell you about that. I'm going to tell you the strategy to copy the campaign, how to tell who to copy, if it's the right person to copy, like I said. And then I'm going to give you some examples of different companies that use this LinkedIn ads and had also been able to look at the competitors' ads, and then also one that actually stole someone else's business, literally speaking, by copying the campaign and actually knowing how, just going and looking for different stuff to do. At least they started with an idea that somebody's doing, quote unquote, the business strategy that they're doing, and then they found it, they confirmed it, and then so therefore they were able to do something totally new for their, it wasn't a new business per se, but it was another branch of their business. So whether you want a whole new revenue stream or just to improve on what you're doing, assuming that LinkedIn ads actually works for your business, i.e. somebody else they're already doing it right now, you can have a free additional revenue source and a profit stream for your business. There is, by the way, just some businesses out there that are just too small. You're not going to find anybody doing LinkedIn ads. If you're in any kind of sizable volume of business, let's say where, combine all the competitors, there's more than, $50 million a year in it, somebody's going to be doing LinkedIn ads. Somebody's going to be trying it. Despite what little information there is out there of telling people LinkedIn ads work, or how to do it, or that you should do it. And a lot of that reason is because it's expensive to run LinkedIn ads in the first place. People don't even try. So I'm going to tap into that a little bit and explain about the cost, if you will, of running these LinkedIn ads and why it's not an issue before we get into the actual strategy part of the video. So while LinkedIn ads seem to be expensive at service level, they definitely are. It's like $60 to have your ad show up 1,000 times versus in other places like a Google display ad, Facebook ads, it's like $6. They actually are worth it as they convert 5 to 10 times the rate that the Google display ad, or more specifically the Facebook ad, converts. Same newsfeed ad, one converts 5 to 10 times more. That's why they charge more. They charge what it's worth. It's like everything else in life. You get what you pay for. You aren't going to magically discover some company who doesn't know how to price their services or products right, at least not enough for you to not lose more than you're going to win in that type of situation. But when you're running LinkedIn ads, you could convert, for just running a common white paper, upwards of 15% of people who click on your ad to download that white paper. A white paper is a lot different than a free offer or something like that, because obviously you have to invest time to download it. Plus, on a white paper, they want name, company name, phone number, email address. You could still get 15% to download it. Why? Because people there's a higher caliber of business person there. And there are more people that make money in life and business. They think long term. They don't think about, I don't want to do it. Those people fail. or somebody catches up on them and then they are overtaken. They keep up on new stuff and they look for new stuff. And if somebody comes to you with a white paper that says I can improve my business, I'm going to download it. So anyway, they're actually worth it as they convert 5 to 10 times the rate, and they make up for the difference in price and actually come out just as profitable as Facebook at the end of the day. I use both. So if LinkedIn works, I'm automatically trying Facebook. If Facebook works, I'm trying LinkedIn automatically as well with the same offer, trying to target similar audiences. Now the targeting is set up differently on both platforms, so it may or may not work, but I'm definitely trying both because it works on both enough times where it's always worth spending $1,000 on the other if I haven't done the other one, because the return is potentially 100x what I put in to test it. Okay, so with all that said, therefore, if you see your competitor advertising on LinkedIn, that's why they're there. That is, you think it's way more expensive and not worth it, the quality is higher, therefore it evens out, and then the person you see doing it with this method where you can find the person doing it, they know what you don't know, or they don't, or at least they know what most people in your space don't know, which is that, yeah, it's more expensive, but it's worth it, okay? So anyway, moving on, you get the idea of the background about LinkedIn ads, why people say they don't work. Yes, they do work. At the very least, you should investigate, see if somebody's doing it, because if somebody's been doing it for a while and they look like they wouldn't be able to afford the advertising unless it worked, well, then you should definitely give that a shot. People who make a lot of money, again, try, and they test lots of different things. You're not successful a lot, but that 10 or 20% of the time you try a new traffic stream and it works, you've got a 100x return. So you're always just looking for a 10x return when trying something, so that 3 or 4 things don't work, but 6 do, and then it all pans out. That's what winners do in business in general when it comes to the advertising and everything else, really. So anyway, with all that said, here's how to be able to find your competitor's stuff so you can literally copy it. And then I'll tell you a little bit about, if you find more than one to copy, what one you should copy as well on top of everything else. So anyway, the first thing that you're going to do to see how your competitors, if your competitors have caught on to the fact that LinkedIn actually is high quality, follow the following procedure to copy what they have. The first step of which is you make scratch accounts mimicking past customers or clients, depending on what you have. So what I mean by that is you're going to create a brand new account on a brand new computer that you don't use LinkedIn for. You're going to take all the demographic settings that you have from your most common customer, and don't say you don't have a common customer. You can average things out. It's just like saying, my clients tell me they don't have an average amount of money they make from a customer. Average is an average. You should look up average in the dictionary if you don't know what that means. So you got to come up with some data, and you set up your account settings, age, that kind of stuff, to match what your typical customers' demographics are, so that you start out by LinkedIn thinking that you're a person that your competitor are likely going to be wanting to target, okay? And so you get the general idea there. Once you've got an account to do, you just really need one account, but it could be more if you get into doing this in a more advanced way. Once you find an ad targeted to you, you're going to copy their ad and landing page. So basically what you're going to do when you create that account is you're going to go and you're going to do stuff that a person that is in your target audience would do. So if I'm in the restaurant industry, I'm going to go into the groups. I'm going to sign up to all the groups, and I mean all of them. I'm going to click on, in that group, a whole bunch of different articles, become the top so-called responsive user in each of the groups. If I see something related to the restaurant industry, I'm clicking on it. The algorithm, once it understands that you're interested in that stuff, it'll keep giving you more. You're just going to keep clicking on all of it, so that you can end up on as many lists, advertising lists that are out there, that hopefully ending up on them all, that somebody else that's targeting somebody in the restaurant industry that sells what you sell should be on, okay? Once you've done that, now you've primed the pump. Now, when you go, after 2-3 weeks of doing that, do it the first day and then come back a few days later, do it again. 2-3 weeks in, you're going to start to see advertisements targeted to you, the restaurant owner, what have you, assuming that's who you're targeting. And you're going to see the ads. You're going to copy the ad. You're going to screenshot it. The landing page, you're going to copy it. And therefore now you've got something that can be copied or stolen, ripped off, whatever you want to call it. The ad landing page is only half of it. You also have to get the targeting right, as we all know. Without the targeting right, none of it really matters. None of it does matter. Right? So, and of course, if you find the ads, by the way, you're definitely going to click on those ads every single time, so you're going to copy it. But I guess what my point is, don't just start with one ad. You keep going. To do it right, I'm going to suggest that you do this over a 3 to 6 month period. So you can click on an ad, and then later on, another ad will show up. You can click on that. And again, what LinkedIn's engine is going to do, their algorithm is going to do, is it's going to recognize, because you clicked on one ad, other ads that are similar should show up as well. So again, you're priming the pump so that basically the maximum amount of people that are targeting a person like you in your space will have ads show up for you, so that most of the ads aren't going to be what you sell, but you're trying to hope the few people that do sell what you sell show up, okay? But not only that, you want all the people in your space doing LinkedIn advertising to show up, because we're going to rank stack the people that have our competitors that have ads show up for our dummy account, so we can decide the best one to start with first, because there's some that won't actually be profitable. A lot of people don't have tracking set up the right way. They're such a big company, they're losing money, but it doesn't affect them. So basically speaking, there's a general formula that I follow. If you have 10 competitors that you found, or let's just say 3 in this case, how do I decide which of the 3 to copy first? I'm going to take the length of time that ad's been running, which is why you're going to be doing it for 3 to 6 months. And the length of time in months, you're going to put that on the top of your formula. We're going to divide the amount of time that you've seen the ads from the first time you saw it, divided by the revenue of that company, revenue data of which I use Melissa data to find. But what this is going to do, the longer they run the ad, as you can imagine, the more likely it works, right? But that doesn't mean if it's losing money, there's anything to copy. So the lesser the amount of predicted revenue that company has, the more likely that ad has to work before they run out of money and can stop running it. So if they've been running it for 6 months and it's a company that only does, a third of the revenue you do, like $1 million, let's say, they probably would have shut it off by now, let's just say. So, and it's all relative. That's why I said you have to follow the formula that I give you. That way you know which one is most likely to copy first. And if it doesn't work, you can copy the second and the third, so on and so forth. So, but moving forward, once you all have done that, going back to the targeting, now here's how we find the targeting that these people that we now know sell what we sell. We saw the ad, we copied the ad and landing page. Now we want to copy the targeting to get the rest of what we can set up a campaign actually with that will work right away. The missing piece of the puzzle, the full puzzle, whatever you want to say, is you're going to check on your LinkedIn archive. You can Google that and then you're going to download the ad targeting CSV file, which in that CSV file, it'll tell you the audience you showed up to have ads show up for your company. Okay? So respectively, this is actually so that there's transparency in the advertising space, and this is supposed to be for your own personal needs, but you can reverse and you can use the data to power an ad campaign to target people like the dummy account that you set up, and people that are like the person that you would sell to anyway, if you get my point. And so respectively, a few different accounts will work here, because you'll show up in quite a few different audiences here. To max this out for yourself, I'm going to do a few different types of accounts, and I'm only going to click on one type of ad on that account, and then another account I'm going to click on another type of ad from a second competitor. That way I can see the individual audiences I showed up on or were on that they're using for each competitor that I have, so I'll get even more accurate information to copy at the end of the day. Once I know exactly what audiences I was on that they're using to target me, and I have their ad, and I have their landing page, you've got literally everything you need at that point. If it's working for them, assuming, again, they have low revenue, they've been running it a while, it'll work basically guaranteed at that point. So with all the research you did, yes, it took a lot of work, maybe a few months before you ran a single ad And you could have, obviously, somebody in your office easily do this for you once you got the just give them this video. Then it's working right away. You don't have to spend thousands. And then probably a lot of people, if you're new to this stuff, people try, they fail, they try, they fail, they try, they fail. You might as well just do this research anyway. Because, yeah, you can run an ad campaign in 10 minutes. Doesn't mean it's going to work. Okay, you're not going to know it's not going to work until you've spent, $3,000 on it already, hypothetically. Then you got to try it again, another three. And realistically, if you have no idea about how to run ad campaigns, it may never work. And if you're using most ad agencies out there, they don't know what they're doing. Trust me, I know because I'm in the ad industry. So anyway, you get the general gist. That's how you copy a campaign. Okay, you could obviously set this thing up to find new business ideas or revenue streams that you could use to expand your business, another product line that you can sell, another service that you can offer, that kind of thing. Or just copy what your competitors are using to sell what you sell already. Now, these are the type of companies I've seen using this method, in which you could copy if you are excited about this method already, as I was when I found out about it, to right away be able to start making more money for your business, okay? The first of which is a push app provider. So if you're using an app on your phone, a downloaded app, mobile app, there's push notifications that show up in the app. Like if you have a game like Farmville, it'll ask you, do you want to buy, tokens or whatever. But you could program, and this company had an app, a software that allowed you to set up logic so that the push notification would only show up at a certain time, and you could split test it so that you could find the perfect time to ask if they wanted to buy tokens, and if they, to where maybe they would, maybe they wouldn't see it, and if they would see it, when should they see it, what should it say, that kind of thing. And they put together a white paper, and they advertise this on Facebook and LinkedIn and so on and so forth. They converted about the same in both Facebook and LinkedIn. And but with that, they weren't the only company doing it. So just doing what I'm saying here was easy to find what else to kind of expand the campaign with, because they didn't start out there. Later on, they checked into that, partially due to my advice to them anyway, and me working on the campaign and just trying to, because it makes sense, right? If you're coming to me and asking me to improve this campaign's numbers, why am I going to just guess? I'm going to look at what other people in this exact same space have. So anyway, the second one that I seen do this kind of method, or where we use this method, is the medical clinic equipment provider. So I'm not going to give out the exact one, but you could think of like a plastic surgery place. They have certain equipment, a tattoo removal place, they have certain type of equipment, and the technology is always changing. You can do it better, cheaper, more efficient, better results, that kind of thing. And so with that on LinkedIn, it's kind of perfect, especially because they have targeted groups for just dentists, just plastic surgeons, whatever. Not all plastic surgeons are on there, but some are. And some of them they're on the news feed there, as you know, because that's its own separate thing now. But with that, they're not the only one trying to flog their newest technology machine to remove tattoos there. They're one of, and so with that, they could just see the targeted audiences that they're on. And then also what kind of ads they're running. And just showing a machine and explaining that this is the new way to do XYZ procedure, and then sending them to a white paper that explains why it's better in scientific terms, because this is how these people think that campaign worked. Whereas before, they weren't even using anything like that. So starting out, when I usually start out with the client, we're going to start with Google. When we've tapped everything out there where people are already looking to buy, then we're getting into Facebook/LinkedIn later on. And when I start out, this is my first go-to thing that I'm going to do. Okay? So it's up to you if you want to do it or not, but I'm telling you, this is something I use, and I got to guarantee our clients results here. So that should also be a little bit something. You want to guarantee results for yourself, this is what you want to do basically. The last one is a virus compliance appliances. So what I mean, the C virus, I don't want to say it because it becomes the algorithm, YouTube algorithm, but the C virus, there's certain equipment like stuff where you have the temperature checks, automated ones, so people don't even have to stick their head up to the machine, and So people like a whole body temperature gauge, and then there's air filters that can filter out the air from that stuff. When this all started, somebody had rental equipment that was targeted to businesses that were for like conventions, like check-in apps and stuff like that. And they realized their business was down and they wanted to get into this other stuff. So what did we do? We just went ahead and just looked what other ads people are doing. We knew somebody's doing this already. It's got to be, because people are getting them from somewhere and there's so much demand. Well, in that situation, the perfect thing for you to do is to go and do that. Make 15 accounts of 15 different industries you say you work for, and start clicking on anything about the C virus, specifically anything that says about that type of equipment already, like the temperature scanners, the automated temperature scanners. Start clicking on anything related to that, and then boom, we find the ad. Boom, we find the landing page and targeted audience that they're using. Boom, got a campaign ready to go. So whereas 1 and 2 I gave you here is good for building, as I mentioned, was a way to build onto the business, particularly here to improve the campaign, here to create a campaign that would also sell what they also were selling already though, and here to create a whole new business line, which products that they weren't pitching before, they bought the equipment and now they can rent it out, / some people would just buy it, but renting it out to people that in mass would be needing it at that time. So again, create a new business, improve a business that you already have, or find a new way a new revenue stream to sell what you have. Hope you enjoyed the video. I have a ton of other videos on this channel just like this one about other PPC money-making strategies. You should check those out if you haven't. I have a blog at guaranteedppc.com/blog with step-by-step instructions on how to build campaigns that guarantee results as well. If you'd like to see information along those lines, you can check it out there. It's very interesting as well. And if you have any questions or comments about LinkedIn campaign stuff I mentioned here to copy a campaign, leave me a comment down below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel within a day or two. And with that, enjoy your day. Hope you get a chance to try this out for yourself, and good luck. Hope you make some money as well.